Hello students and greetings from Dr. S.R. Dandote. I am working as assistant professor in Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Kopargaon. I welcome you to this third part of sound engineering lecture, and it is especially for acoustics of the buildings. The objectives of the present lecture are to discuss the conditions for good acoustics and to explain different factors affecting acoustics of hall and their remedies. So, at the end of the lecture, learners will be able to understand various conditions which are required for good acoustics and their effect and their remedies. So, before we start discussing the details of these various factors, let us see what we have seen in the previous lecture. In previous lecture, we have discussed various important properties of sound waves which are highly useful for study of acoustics of the buildings. These properties include reflection of sound, echo, reverberation time, Sabines formula, applicability of the Sabines formula for different reverberation times. Let us now start discussing the various factors which are essential under good acoustical conditions. For a big hall, there should be suitable and appropriate sound amplification system, and it should be properly installed. Sound should be heard at every point of the hall with sufficient intensity, and for this purpose, initial sound from the source itself should be of adequate intensity. The initial sound from the source should be clear and distinct so that there is no possibility of a disordered speech. For music hall, the initial sound should reach the audience with same intensity as well as frequency. There should be no focusing of sound in any part of the hall. This focusing may be there because of presence of some curved surfaces, so that should be avoided. The boundaries should be sufficiently soundproof to exclude unnecessary noise. There should be no resonance within the buildings. Hall should be free from echo. Reverberation time should be optimum. The hall should be free from echelon effect. So what is this echelon effect? We shall discuss very soon. The outside noise should be properly insulated. So these are all the basic parameters which are highly essential or required for good acoustics of buildings or halls. Let us now see one by one these factors, their effects and their remedies. So first one is reverberation time. Already in previous lecture we have seen details of this reverberation time. By Sabines formula we have this reverberation time given by the formula T is equal to 0.161 V upon A. So these two terms V and A play very important role in the reverberation time. If A is large, that means in hall if there is more absorption, T will be smaller. If there is large volume or less absorption, there will be large reverberation time, and this small or large reverberation time causes the problem. We know that large reverberation time should not be there because due to that sound persists for more time period, and that causes overlapping between original and the reflected sound, and it results into the confusion. If reverberation time is very small, then it causes the deadening effect. This means that the sound reverberation time should not be either small or large. Then how much it should be? It should be optimum. So how can we obtain these optimum conditions? Let us see remedies for that. To reduce reverberation time, use heavy curtain for absorption of the sound. Floor is covered with carpet to absorb the sound. Windows and openings are provided in the hall which can be opened or closed to control reverberation time. Wall and ceilings are to be covered with sound absorbing materials. So that means by having suitable control on the absorption of sound, we can have optimum reverberation time in the hall. The next parameter is loudness. There should be adequate loudness in the hall, in all parts of the hall. Control on reverberation time may affect loudness. So while controlling the reverberation time, loudness may get decreased. So how can we remedize this? Large soundboards are used behind the speaker facing the audience so that there will be more reflection towards the audience and it will control the loudness. Loudspeakers are used to increase the loudness. Low ceiling helps to reflect the sound towards the audience. Sound absorbing materials are used in those parts of hall where sound intensity is large. Next term is echo. As we know that under good acoustical conditions, hall should be free from echo. But in case if it is large auditorium and the distance between the source and the reflector is greater than 17 meter, then definitely it is going to produce echo. So how can we remedize echo? The first solution is high ceiling and distant walls are covered with suitable sound absorbing material. Suppose this is the distant wall and if it is covered by sound absorbing material, then when sound falls upon it, it will be absorbed and the possibility of reflection will be minimized. The second solution is use of splayed walls. This is splayed wall construction. So use of splayed wall construction instead of parallel wall construction. So that also minimizes the possibility of echo. The next term is echelon effect. Under good acoustical conditions, hall should be free from echelon effect. So what is echelon effect? For that purpose, we have to consider such type of structure present in the hall. So these are equally spaced stairs, means the width is constant, and because of this, when it receives incident sound, you can imagine such type of structure in a movie theater. So if it receives incident sound, sound waves are equally reflected. That means after reflection the sound waves have constant phase difference, and because of this succession of echoes are produced by a set of regularly spaced reflecting surfaces, and that causes the overlapping between this reflected sound and the original sound, and hence it causes confusion to the audience. So this echelon effect can be remedied by two ways. The first is if there are such equally spaced surfaces present in the hall, then it can be covered by the carpet so that it will absorb this incident sound and the possibility of reflection of sound will be minimized. And second remedy is construct the steps of unequal widths. Next is focusing of sound due to concave or parabolic surfaces in the hall. So such type of surfaces concentrates the sound at a particular region of the hall, and of course it is not desirable under good acoustical conditions. So that can be remedied by avoiding curved surfaces, or if curved surfaces are present, it can be covered with suitable sound absorbing materials. Another solution is use of low ceilings. The next parameter is resonance. Resonance means matching between the two frequencies. So resonance may be caused in the hall due to loose fitting window panels or doors or some other objects present in the hall. So due to their vibrations, sound waves are generated and that distorts the original sound due to resonance. So this can be remedied by fixing the windows manually, or vibrating objects are placed on sound absorbing materials. The next parameter is noise, which is very important in the field of acoustics. Noise is what? It is unwanted sound which gives unpleasant effect and produces harmful as well as adverse effect on the health of living ones. So the effects caused due to noise are: it creates uncomfortable conditions, it has adverse effect on blood pressure, muscular strain or sleep also, it leads to weakness and decreases the efficiency of the person, it disturbs concentration, noises decreases output of worker also. So the quality of the sound in the hall is adversely affected due to noise, and this noise is produced by three different possible ways, as it can be airborne noise, it can be structure borne, or it can be inside noise. So let us see one by one what these three different possible ways of production of noise are. So airborne noise is that which is conveyed in the hall or that reaches the hall via air through open window, doors and ventilators. So such type of noise may be generated by so many reasons, like speeches, television, radio, phone, animal sound like dog barking, transport and so many other reasons. Now how can we avoid such airborne noise? The remedies are avoiding ventilators facing towards the streets, placing windows and doors at proper places, using heavy glass at doors. Heavy glass functions as good reflector. So if it is applied at doors, windows and ventilators, outside noise will not enter the hall, it will be reflected and it will stop that noise entering the hall. By making arrangement of perfectly shutting doors and windows. The next remedy is providing double wall construction. This is very important. Double wall construction avoids the noise that is conveyed via air inside the hall. Use of double doors and windows with separate frames and having good insulating material in between, that is also one of the solution to avoid airborne noise. The next is structure borne noise. The noise which is conveyed through structure of the building itself is known as structure borne noise. The examples are footsteps, street traffic, hammering, drilling, operating machinery, moving of furniture and so on. So this can be remedied by breaking the continuity of the structure by interposing layers of some suitable acoustic insulators. Use of double wall construction with airspace in between is also a good remedy to stop structure borne noise. Use of anti-vibration mounts, and by insulating the machinery we can stop structure borne noise. The next is inside noise. Noise produced by equipment and machineries used inside the hall itself may result into inside noise, and this can be remedied by means of these things. Machinery should be placed on sound absorbent pads. Any engine inside the hall should be fitted on floor with a layer of wood or felt so that it will avoid vibrations. Floor should be covered with carpet. The walls, floor, ceilings should be provided with suitable sound absorbing materials. Sound absorbing materials should be mounted on surfaces near source of noise. So these are the possible solutions to avoid inside noise. So this way, in acoustics we have seen different properties of sound waves and different parameters which are required for good acoustics of hall, and the parameters which affect the acoustics and their remedies. So this is all about the acoustics. In coming lectures we will see the production and applications of ultrasonic waves. So wish you happy learning. Thank you.